Nation.
You
Squad. Hell yeah, baby. Coming to you live from the DNVR studios. It is the DNVR Postgame Show for Colorado's 24 over Iowa State. Number 22, Iowa State. How about that, man? We got Uncle Neely here. RK will be joining us shortly. We are presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. You'll get $20 off your next purchase. Shout out Game Time. How we feeling?
Oh, how we feeling?
I feel great, man, because this is a perfect blend of I told you so and we had to have it. Like, we classified this game as a must-win, and we won it after telling people we were going to win it. There's a couple of better feelings in the world, such as clean sheets, new draws, new contact lenses, but this is right up there with it.
It had to have it, and they got it. You know what I'm saying? That was as close to a must-win as a game can get in Week 7 of the college football season. And isn't it crazy that it's Week 7 already? That is absolutely insane to me. But that is what you had to have going into the bye week after the last two games, the last 2 weeks that you had. We're going to talk a lot about it, obviously. But the way this team finished, right? That's just what I'm so impressed by. The resisting the urge to revert back to old habits, I think, is the story of this game, because it looked like at the end of the first half there, it was looking like deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado has the lead. Iowa State puts together a 96-yard drive late in that second quarter going into the half. They take the lead going into the half, and you're like, oh, here we go again. But Colorado, Kaidon Salter, this Colorado defense, which played its ass off today, finished that game strong, and that's the biggest reason they won. Outscored Iowa State 17-7 in the second half. That's what good teams do, and the Buffs look like a good-ass team today.
I mean, this is what it looks like when it all comes together. When Kaidon Salter's making good decisions, hitting guys downfield, when the running game is going, when the defense is playing up to its utmost potential in clutch situations. I mean, 2 of 12 on third down today.
Massive.
That interception from Tawfiq, that fourth down stop as well. I mean, you got to give it up to the defense. I mean, again, they kept on giving this team chances and chances and chances. And while the offense did struggle at times, there were quite a few 3-and-outs in themselves. I mean, they end up 7 for 15 on third down. It was not that good before the fourth quarter.
Facts.
That's for damn sure. So this is what it looks like when this Colorado team plays all together, when all the pieces are working, and, you know, you have someone leading the charge in quarterback Kaidon Salter. This is what games should look like for this team.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about that all the time. I think really since the Wyoming game, when we were talking about how this team looked against Wyoming was just not how it was going to look against Wyoming. It's how it could look against anybody when all three phases click together, show up at the same time. And as good as our special teams has been, you know, there were some blemishes on special teams last week. So, you know, you had a quarterback struggle. You had special teams do some uncharacteristic things. Game gets away from you. This week, all three things performed the way they had to, and there was still meat left on the bone. I mean, you're talking about a wide receiver slipping, a holding call on another wide receiver, and you could easily be up 17 points in this victory.
Coach Prime was saying it. This team was close. And we saw that today. This team finally broke through, and I think you said it, right? Like, there's still meat left on the bone. Like, this could have been a 14-point game, a 10-point victory in favor of the Buffs. And that is the type of stuff going into the bye week that there shouldn't be anybody resting on their laurels. Like, hey, we got us a dough. We got us our first Big 12 win of the season. We got us our first top 25 win since 2023. No, it's none of that. You know what I'm saying? This team is really just getting started. And we talked about it the last couple of weeks as well. Like, all it takes is one to really turn the tide, to change the trajectory of your season. And I think that's exactly what we saw unfold today. I mean, anytime you can get the students in a sold-out stadium rushing the field afterwards, you probably did something good, even if it comes with a little $50K fine. Nothing major, right?
100%. I mean, look, we'll talk about some of the things that could have been done better, but you have to tip the hat to Kaidon Salter. I mean, he responded.
For real. He
really
did.
Really just clutch and nice throws. That throw to Joseph Williams, the first big one, in between three defenders and like hitting right in the middle of the cover two with the backer coming upfield too. I mean, just gorgeous throw. He made some great decisions too in terms of running the ball. You have to give it up to Joseph Williams too. I mean, that's
JoJo.
Is that his most productive game in college football?
No, he had some crazy games last year, but it is a career high in terms of receptions. Okay. His season high, obviously, in yards this year. I think this year 128 yards, 3 touchdowns already this season. He is. I think I said it last week on the show. He is truly one of the most talented players on this football team, regardless of position. Only as a true sophomore, man. That young man is one of my favorites to watch. And watching him break out today, 8 catches on 8 targets. Every time Kaidon looked his way, it was a play. You know what I'm saying? And you love to see that, man. You mentioned Kaidon, man. He was great today, man. That is how you respond. After a rough showing last week, even after a rough finish to the first half, right? It was kind of on shaky grounds to start that second half. But obviously the 70-yard touchdown to Amari Miller, I think, kind of broke this game open and kind of gave him the confidence, because after that moment, he was just a different player. He was confident. He was decisive. He was really accurate after some inaccuracy issues in the first half. That's what you got to see. And Kaidon talked about it after the game. He's like, that's what he thinks is one of his best attributes, being able to play the next play. Even after you make some mistakes, this is what you have to do when you play that quarterback position. You got to have a short memory, and you got to move on to the next play, the next down, the next throw. And that's what he did. So big shout out to Kaidon Salter, and shout out to JoJo Williams, bro. What a performance, man. I think, honestly, too, one of the most underrated plays of the game was that third down catch earlier in the game to JoJo.
The one that they reviewed?
The one they reviewed. Kaidon threw it a little low. JoJo went and picked it up off the dirt. They reviewed it. Colorado goes to score on that drive to go up 7-0. I think that play, and obviously the Amari Miller touchdown that I just mentioned, I think were the 2 biggest offensive plays of the game, because after that, it seemed like a flip switch with this offense, and particularly Kaidon after the Amari Miller touchdown. So we've been talking about it. These receivers are dope, man. You get them the ball, good things are going to happen.
Yep. Unc, you spoke about it yesterday when we did pregame show about how you saw Kaidon kind of respond this week and kind of take accountability for some of the things that have gone wrong offensively the last few weeks. What can you say about his play and just, what he said after the game and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'll start with team meeting earlier this week. He stood up in front of the team and said that was on me. I played like shit, if to quote him directly. And I talked to him post-game in the locker room with a quick interview, and I gave him his quote right back to him. And he told the team that wouldn't happen again, and it didn't happen again. As I shared with you guys on the pregame, that the growth I saw in Salt this week was right there with the growth, and he probably even eclipsed it, that I saw when he sat for the Houston game. That those 3 interceptions, the weight of the game being placed on you, even though there were other things that contributed to the loss as well, you taking it as the leader of the team, the quarterback, that this loss is on me. He stepped up, man. Like he stepped up, and just as much when we had to have it, he stepped up. That defense down there on that goal line stand stepped up, and this has been the characteristics of this team all along. We've lost some games that we shouldn't have been losing, and you saw today what can happen when this team plays together all 3 phases.
In the virtual studio? Oh my gosh. We don't need 2 of Unc.
Nearly 2 times, nearly 2 times.
What up?
Squad, what up, brethren?
Cook.
Who the fuck is that?
What?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're live.
Put down your hand. Blind spots.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the Uber driver said I can't put my hand up that high. Can't see.
Cook, go off.
How you feeling, bro?
Hey, man. What a game. What a game. Appreciate you guys for bringing me on all the way from London. You guys got to understand, first of all, I've had 0 drinks. Second of all, that was a huge win. We had people literally in London singing the fight song. We had people in London singing the fight song. It was epic. Finally, huge plays by the defense. I got to give a huge shout out to them. And honestly, Kaidon Salter made big plays when it mattered. And I thought Pat Shurmur actually called a really good game. So hats off to him. He actually had a couple plays that he dialed up that were not executed, but were there. And so I'm proud of them. In the back, what do you guys have to say?
Go Buffs. Let's go Buffs. Scotty, I had a tequila lemonade in your honor. Go Buffs.
She had a drink. I had 0. Why are you guys at the studio?
They're not even talking.
You would not believe it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, man, RK, bro, people are saying, bro, that you might just have to stay away from Buffs games, bro. The last 2 you missed have been great Colorado wins, bro. What do you have to say about that?
All right, first and foremost, don't tempt me because I love London. And if you force me to stay here, I will not be upset about it. Second and foremost, no, I'm not stopping. You can never stop me from going to a Colorado Buffaloes football game. You'll have to put me in jail, lock me up, and like Mark Sanchez me by putting a cuff to the hospital bed before you ever stop me from coming to a Colorado Buffaloes game.
Silence from the back seat, bro. I don't like that.
They're trying to muzzle me, man. It's crazy.
Imagine that.
Too much. All right, thank you.
Imagine that. All right, boys. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Go Buffs.
Oh man, he's something, ain't he?
He is something, no doubt about it.
Let's take our first break and then we'll dig into some more here. Shout out to our friends at Common Spirit Health. They're more than just hospitals and clinics. They got a team of passionate and expert caregivers dedicated to your well-being, woven into every fabric of your community. Not just surgeries, preventative care, but, what's the word for it? Sports medicine.
Yes. Right.
Sports medicine, athletes, take care of yourself as well. I mean, not every injury is a serious one, but you never know these days. I mean, just take a look at the NFL quarterbacks in turf toe, right? So go check out and Coach Prime. Use him as a reminder too. Take care of yourself, take care of your friends, family, and your own health. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
And shout out to Monarch Money, man. Nowadays it's kind of hard to keep track of all your money.
Hard.
Where it's coming in from, where it might be going out to. I know me personally, it's kind of been a tough weekend for me in terms of keeping track of my money for some different reasons. But, Monarch Money makes it so simple because they are the brand that helps you track your finances, where your money is going. And that is what makes Monarch Money the best budgeting app of 2025. That's not me saying that. That's Wall Street Journal saying that. So check out Monarch Money, man, because there's no more guessing. There's no more hiding. There's no more, I didn't even realize we spent that much at dinner or for drinks last night at the bar. Nope. Monarch Money takes care of all that for you. It tracks everything for you. You'll never need to touch some financial spreadsheet again when you mess with our friends over at Monarch Money. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year, y'all. It's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. Shout out to Monarch Money Squad.
All right, we got to give Kaidon Salter his flowers. I mean, clearly he led the team to a big win. It was shaky there in the first half, but I think also what Unc was talking about, the way he responded coming out at halftime. I mean, Omarian's just wide open down the field, of course, but Kaidon actually hit the pass, and then Kaidon, he kept on doing great stuff after that. I think that's the best that we've seen him throwing the football in the second half of that game in a CU uniform. He had some big runs too. I mean, again, penalties, man. The Dallin Hayden big run gets brought back by a penalty. Overall, what are we at here penalties wise? 6 for 43. I mean, Iowa State had 7 for 59, but he really led those guys today on offense, and you just got to give it up to him, man. What a performance, and exactly what this team needed.
Was this Kaidon's best game as a Buff, Unc, all things considered?
Yeah, I think so. When you say all things considered, I especially think so. I've seen him have, more moments than, say, most fans won't admit he's had. There have been some games where, as Coach Prime used to say, even when Shedeur was our quarterback, there's only two people get blamed when you lose. That's the quarterback and the head coach. And there used to be a time both of them had the same last name, and so it was a double whammy. And now that's just the nature of the beast of a quarterback. When we fall, the first benchmark is how did the quarterback play, or what did he do? And I think other than this last game with the 3 picks, he hasn't really put us in situations where he was totally the problem. When you look at, for instance, Jake, those penalties there, one of the things we wanted to totally clean up this year was penalties. And we have lessened them, but what we've gotten worse at is the moment that they happened and what kind of penalty it was. That play that got called back on the hold, the guy was already by you. You didn't have to hold O. And I love O. And I love how he made up for it, with his other catches. But that was a score off the board there on that drive. And we're consistently putting ourselves in those positions. And I'll say this: celebrate this win. You defeated the top 25 team at home. You played like you can play. But when you go back and look at the things that truly matter in college football, such as time of possession, passing yards, rush yards, first down convert, blah, 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 we left a lot of meat on the bone, guys. We left a lot of meat on the bone, and there's going to be some need this week going into the bye week to still clean up some things, even though you had a win.
I think Pat called a pretty good game overall. Even the trick play, I mean, you can argue about the time and place, but the ball goes over Quentin Gibson's head, and he's got a freaking convoy in front of him. He probably scores if he catches that pass. I think you can complain about some of the run, pass punts that they had, and there were a few in this game, but overall, I mean, you didn't see them. You saw them kind of adapt as well, right? Dallin really got the hot hand again at running back. They put him in and they fed him. Joseph, of course, got the hot hand at wide receiver, and O was doing some things as well. Those are the guys who got fed on the outside. And then, I think one of the drives that people really got upset about was it's later in the game. They're going left. They're near the goal line. I can't remember what happened to get him down there. I think it's the fourth down stop, actually.
Yeah.
They get the fourth down stop. They're inside their own 20, and they run it 3 straight times. But it's like, at that point in time, your defense is playing so good,
right,
and you're already in field goal range. Like, I understand why, if you're a little upset about them maybe not stepping on Iowa State's neck and ending the game there with a touchdown, but you got the field goal, and it was clear from that point on, like, Colorado had this offense figured out.
Yeah.
Their defense had it figured out, and they were making stops. They were shooting gaps, especially later in the game. I mean, you could see the confidence level of that defense really rise up as the game went on.
For sure. I mean, just one last thing on K Salt, giving him his flowers. I mean, that second half performance is what every Buff fan has been waiting on from him. Finishes the game completing 64% of his passes, over 300 total yards of offense, the 2 passing touchdowns, was really decisive in the run game as well, 57 yards on just 9 carries. That's what you need. And talking about the run game, 39 rush attempts for this Colorado football team tonight to 25 pass attempts. That's the run-pass split that we have been clamoring for the last couple of weeks. This is a team with a strong, big, physical offensive line with strong physical runners behind them, whether it's Dallin, who balled out again today for the 2nd straight week, or Micah. You saw Cam Michael get some reps at running back today for the first time this season as well. That is what we've been talking about, and we saw it again. The 39 rush attempts to 25 pass attempts, that's the sweet spot because you still got your receivers involved. And when you had a lead late, you were able to salt it away with the run game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No pun intended, but that's the recipe, you know what I'm saying? And defensively, man, I tweeted at half, I think Colorado forced the Iowa State punt on 4 of the Cyclones' first 5 drives. You mentioned it earlier, 2 for 12 on 3rd down for Iowa State. Tawfiq Byard, boy, that's a dog right there. for real, the biggest play of the game, that interception, obviously, with a wrap on his hand after he got a bone bruise earlier in the hand. He was all over the field, 7 tackles. Jeremiah Brown also deserves his damn flowers, man. 10 tackles today, 17 tackles over the last 2 weeks, 2.5 tackles for loss. He has really took and ran with that starting linebacker spot alongside Reggie Hughes. So a lot of good, man. And that's what it takes to beat a top 25 team, right? Get your first top 25 win since that 2023 season opener against TCU.
First at home since the Nebraska game in 19.
In 19, exactly right. And if that wasn't big enough in itself, you did it with a handful of 2026, 2027, even some 2028 high school recruits in the building to witness that and to turn up in the locker room, because them boys was turned up in the locker room post game, as they should be. So that's just awesome to see all of it.
Uncle, I'll throw it to you here in a second. I just want to say something about what Scott said about the run-pass balance. And this is probably the biggest sign of growth you could see from Kaidon Salter. He trusted his receivers today.
Yeah.
He just put it up. Facts. It's what we've been asking for the last 6 weeks before this. Those guys are good out there. Coach Prime emphasized that after the game today as well. And also, he really praised Joseph Williams, but they're that dynamic. They're that good. Just throw the ball up near them. I know the touchdown was broken coverage and all that, but O was still making some plays. And when you have Joseph Williams playing like that, it's kind of like running back. It's a hot hand. You just got to feed him. Go ahead, Unc.
Yeah, I want to, double back on something because we talked about it on our pregame show. When you look at the way this team was structured in the offseason, the needs that were addressed, here's another I told you so moment, Jake. Put your seatbelt on out there. Stop worrying about the injury report. This team's got depth. This team's got not only depth, it has talent at those positions. And look at the way the most injured group out there, the D-line, and look at the way the D-line played. Because we finally have trenches with depth and talent on both sides of the ball. So when people go down, you're just never going to hear Coach Prime or this team say, oh, we would have won if such and so wasn't hurt. This team is not built like that for this season. Yeah, we've lost some games and that kind of thing, but it never has something to do with because who was missing. You look at when a receiver is out and you don't notice. You look at when a running back is out and you don't notice. D linemen, 2 or 3 of them out and you don't notice. Linebackers are interchangeable out there. So I love the depth of this team, and it showed. Those young guys stepped up. I mean, how many damn times did you hear London Merritt's name? And if you didn't hear his name, if you just watched the ball game, how many times you see him in the mix? Alex McPherson just in the mix like crazy. Our problem ain't the trenches on either side of the ball.
That's a great.
Not where the problem is.
100%. I think that's a great point, particularly about the injuries, right? A lot of people panicking this week about that lengthy injury report. And I even fell victim to a pregame when I saw that Terrell Timmons was out and Draylon Miller was out and Hakeem Williams. I'm like, damn, they look in that receiver. Nope. 255 passing yards. JoJo Williams goes over 100. Omari Miller goes for 80 plus. 2 top running backs out. Simeon Price, DeKalen Taylor still out. Draylon Miller, who also kind of moonlights as a running back, out. Nope, still run for 140 yards. You're 100% right. The depth is something was a talking point quite a bit for us shows like this, and we're seeing it. Mm-hmm. We're seeing it particularly in the trenches. And Coach Prime gave a lot of love to that offensive line post game, and for good reason. I mentioned 140 rushing yards. Kaidon Salter was not sacked. He had time. Kaidon Salter had time, and he has had time all for the majority of the season. So that's just a credit to Coach Gunnar White, man. Jordan Seaton pulling across the field on that Michael Welch touchdown to start the game. He didn't have to touch nobody, but just the threat of that big 77 out in the open field with a head of steam is scary, man. And we mentioned Dallin balled out, and that's what you got to see, man. That was a full, complete team effort, all 3 phases getting it done for a big win.
And also just on the defense, Rocco Becht. This is a really good quarterback, one of the best in the Big 12. You held this guy to 55% completion and his third pick of the season.
Yep.
He's been playing great football all year long, and
Yep.
he's the main reason why Iowa State is where they are right now. And you made him, you completely neutralized him, honestly, running the ball too. Only 31 yards on 7 attempts. What Abu Sama did was quite a bit. Clearly 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, but you controlled the head of the snake, really, and that's Rocco Becht. That team goes as far as he goes, and you neutralized him. That's why you won this game. Go ahead, Unc.
That Micah run for touchdown, and when Scotty mentioned how Seat didn't have to touch anybody, when you go watch that play, they didn't want to get touched. It wasn't that nobody was there for him to touch. They stopped coming after the running back when they saw 77 leading him and running right by his side. I just cracked up laughing watching that replay. They didn't even try to go after Michael when they saw what they were going to have to go through to get to him. It was just like, nope, you got it.
That's just what we talked about all offseason, right? This is still one of the biggest lines in college football when you just go by size and weight. And that just it matters, especially when we're talking about 18 to 23-year-old kids, man. That's a clear advantage that there's maybe 5% of teams in the country who have that type of advantage. And Colorado does, so it's great to see them finally embracing that. Go ahead.
I want to mention Young Steph brought it up in the chat, and it's up on the screen right now. He goes, shout out to Yates. He really held it down that corner. Now, Ivan Yates had some plays today where he looked good. He had some plays today where he got. But that third cornerback spot has been a rotating door this season due to injuries, due to some poor play. Obviously, we're still waiting on R.J. Johnson to get back from injury. But, whether it was Makari Vickers or Tion Parks earlier in the year, they have been trying to find answers at that spot, and at least temporarily today. And again, it wasn't perfect by any means, but Ivan Yates played well enough for that defense as a unit to get the job done, like you mentioned, against a really good quarterback, against some really talented receivers. Yeah. So shout out to Ivan Yates, man.
Scotty, I love that because you talk about the layers of defense, right? That they all depend on each other. You remember the success of that Tampa 2 down there in Sapp's days where you had Hall of Famers at each layer of the defense. And so when someone's great in front of you, you can have a day where all you got to do is be good or average. And when you look at what started up front with this D-line and a linebacker, finally leading in tackles versus having a safety or a corner lead in tackles, that really just takes a lot of pressure off back there. One thing I can say as challenging as this secondary has been, to really rise to the occasion, the total defense made it where they did not get picked on by a damn good quarterback. Everyone who has followed the Buffs this year, you had to go into this game thinking, oh man, they're going to really go after us up top because our secondary has been porous. Wasn't their fault today. You had a couple of plays where you woulda, coulda, shoulda, but that's going to happen in any game. And I think they've really taken to heart Coach Prime's words is stop playing to not get beat and play to make a play and just move on to the next play. Stop worrying about it because we have been banged up back there at corner and at safety, and those guys went there. Shout out to Coach Rob Livingston and his scheme. Other than that, who the hell would have thought we'd give up a 96-yard drive right before halftime? Other than that, when you get into the back half of that game, it looked like last year's defense.
Helmet stickers on the next segment. There's one thing I want to talk about. Did Iowa State give up at the end?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think Matt Campbell was like, we're gonna get a 3-and-out here and just give our quarterback one more chance. Obviously, they didn't get the 3-and-out. And honestly, they almost had it because, again, remember, Colorado was in 3rd and 17 before they hit that long shot to JoJo to ice the game. So it kind of almost worked out for them.
Sure.
But I don't think they gave up. I just think they were like, put our defense out there. Hopefully we get a 3-and-out, and then hopefully Rocco gets us in position to score a touchdown.
It was just the last 2 offensive play calls, the punt included for Iowa State, were just very strange to me. They were in a 3rd and 10. You knew they weren't going to go for it, or they were going to probably go for it on 4th down, which makes it even crazier why they punted.
Yeah, right.
Because they've had kicking issues all year. So even if a field goal wasn't going to help them there in that situation too. You had to score.
Right.
Colorado had 2 timeouts. They had 2 timeouts. You had the 2-minute warning still, though. that was so weird to me. You called quarterback run, and then you just punt the ball away when you're near midfield. Like, I don't know how many other you didn't get a better chance.
Yeah.
But even if you got the ball back, how much are you going to get a better chance to score than from midfield? I don't know.
That was
weird.
It was weird in the moment, but hey, I don't know. One more shout out I want to make, because on the injury tip, Carter Stoudemire was kind of a surprise scratch from today, him being out. Ben Finnisef, you don't got to get ready when you stay ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously he was a starter earlier in the year and took maybe a step back in terms of just not starting the last couple of weeks. But him and Tawfiq back there, I mean, Ben himself saved, like, I would say at least a couple touchdowns.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he was that last line of defense, and he made sure that he locked in and got that ball carry on the ground or out of bounds. So shout to Ben. 5 tackles tonight, all of them solo. Again, it's the depth we're talking about, man. Him and Tawfiq back there at safety is that's the duo I want to see moving forward. I ain't gonna lie.
Yep. We'll throw it to Unc real quick, and then we'll take a break.
What you throwing it over here for? What you want?
Did you have anything to say about the end of the game? Like, what? Did you have an opinion on that at all, or from Iowa State's?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm never going to assume that someone is conceding with that much time on the clock, but it was interesting for them to do a run right there at midfield instead of, again, going up top and that kind of thing. But I think, a lot of times we don't know what coaches know as far as what their players are capable of, and they clearly did not bring their best kicking game this part of the season due to injuries. And so he was probably just trying to play the clock, get the ball back, because if you go from a positive kind of mindset and say, well, look what happened in the first quarter. I mean, hell, we just traded punches like boxers filling each other out. Maybe he was hoping for something like that. But I've seen, us do some things at midfield that were kind of quirky. Where if you get like 6 or 7 more yards, you put Buck in a position that he can make one. Finally got that opportunity. Man, it was headed right down the middle and then just started to drift there at the end. But, we got the leg. Your guy that can cook it at 60 plus. So, and they didn't. I don't know what was going on with their decision making there. At the end of the day, it wouldn't have made a difference in the outcome, of the game. But I'm proud of the way these Buffs played a top 25 team with this quarterback that was one of the best in the conference, and you kept him at bay. And again, shout out to this defense, shout out to this offense, shout out to the special teams. This is what the Buffs look like when all 3 phases show up.
Your next break goes up. And shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell, man. Driving out of Boulder, that Taco Bell was popping. Perhaps the best Taco Bell in all of Colorado.
People are saying.
I mean, many people are saying. They got that Buffs box on lock as well. They're going to have it there, as will all the Colorado Taco Bells out here. So when you come in for, when's our next game? November 1st, the Arizona game, right?
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Next home game, that is.
Next home game, yes. Sorry.
Yep.
That's in November. Make sure you hit up Taco Bell and get yourself a box with 4 Taco Bell Classics, plus a large drink in a CU Buff Player Collectible Cup. Taco Bell is also a proud sponsor of CU Athletics and will be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every touchdown scored. We'll get to the touchdown tracker here a bit later as well. Buffs love the bell, man.
Shout out to Taco Bell and shout out to our good friends, this squad over at Breckenridge Brewery, man. Breck always helps bring the vibes to our pregame tailgate. The tailgate was popping once again today. Shout out to everybody who pulled up and we met. Check out Breck Brew's new West Coast style IPA if you haven't already. It's called the Ridge Runner. It's a double dry hop brew inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails, and it creates those tiny notes of bright citrus and pine that just makes it such a good drink, man. I know. And that we love our Breck beers over here at DNVR because Breckenridge Brewery is the official craft beer of DNVR. Breck Brew is a beer for any occasion. There's just no better way to catch a Buffs game than having some Breck Brew on deck. Try you that Avalanche Amber Ale, maybe that Mile High City, or my personal favorite, the Fun Slinger. So check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you. Shout out to Breckenridge Brewery.
All right.
Was that Buck's first field goal attempt as a Buff?
I'm pretty sure.
It looked good, man. It looked good. I know it was a little short, a little maybe wide right a
wide
little
right,
bit,
yeah.
but they're going to come back to that. And I think it's going to be in a big spot where they really need it. That was good to see, even if it was a miss.
100%. Let's do some helmet stickers.
Let's get it.
If I could, I'll go first and then I'll throw it to you, because I'm giving my helmet sticker to Coach Prime for battling through what he had to go through this week. And he mentioned it in the post-game press conference as well, how he thinks a lot of the players and the team and the staff just respected the hell out of him for that. How could you not, honestly? I think that's, we talk a lot about, what happens on the field, but Coach Prime before, when he started his press conference today, he's, talking about how he's reflecting at a little location around CU.
Yeah.
He calls it like his prayer spot or something.
Somebody at the tailgate said that
I
they
know,
saw
that was
him.
crazy.
Yeah, for sure. That was crazy.
But, and he talks about how he just felt like the team was going to come in and fight in this game. He actually said he thought it'd be by a bigger margin.
For sure.
But, that just goes to show you that he is without a doubt the leader of this football team, but he's also the heartbeat of this football team, man.
Mm-hmm.
And to see him fight and continually get back up every time, the world just tries to knock him down, man. I mean, how could you not want to play for him? And I can't imagine what that locker room must have been like after the game.
For real.
What do you have to say about that?
I love that helmet sticker, and I'll go in a different direction because, we can all go 3 for 3 on that one. And I'm going to take my sticker and I'm going to tear it in half. And I'm going to put half on the helmet and half on the headset. Half of my sticker is going to go to Kaidon Salter, and the other half is going to go to Pat Shermer, because both of them told all y'all to shut the up.
Hey, well said. They earned it too. They sure did earn that. Oh, smacking my mic around. Damn. There's so many. It's so fun doing helmet stickers after a win because there's so many people. I'm going to go with my dog.
I mean, of course, you have to.
I gotta go on my dog, JoJo. I mean, this guy knows. I've been trying to tell people about JoJo. Maybe I might be overdoing it a little bit, but hey, today I wasn't overdoing it because that boy JoJo looked like one of the best receivers in college football today. Again, 8 catches on 8 targets, a career high, 128 yards, a big touchdown. He was just making, and it really wasn't even the touchdown catch. It was the third down conversions. It was that catch that I mentioned earlier that really got this team going. Picking that thing off the turf. And Kaidon even mentioned in his postgame presser, he was like, it was a bad throw by me, but JoJo bailed me out in a big spot. So, Joseph, I think this is just the beginning of his breakout as a Colorado Buffalo. He already broke out as a college football player when he was the freshman player of the year in the American Conference last year. So, man, JoJo, he balled out, man, and I just love to see it.
Going around again, I'm going to go with London Merritt, man. First college start, and he was living in the backfield. As Zunk said, the stat sheet may not show it, but when you go back and rewatch the game and, when people are going to put out their grades and stuff, I guarantee you he's going to be very highly graded. There were a lot of plays, too, where, he's like tripping a guy up or like, batting a runner's leg, and then someone else finishes the tackle and they get credit for it behind the line. So to see that out of a true freshman, when you have these recruits there, I mean, there's no telling what it did in that department, but it's also, we've talked about it a lot recently, this youth movement coming up in this team, and it may be happening slower than some of us would like, but those boys are coming.
And that IMG to Colorado pipeline, still looking strong right now. Mm-hmm. Who you got next, Unc?
Well, I'm going to go with the guy that followed Coach Prime to Colorado, got in the portal, got back out of it, shared some tears with Coach Prime, worked his ass off. And I know a lot of people like to point at the stat of when we score 31 or more, we win. We also win when one of our linebackers leading damn tackling instead of a safety or a corner. I'm going helmet sticker Jeremiah Brown, man, played his ass off tonight.
He's been balling, man. And that's what you see, right? Dudes develop. Development isn't linear. It's not a straight line one way or the other. Mm-hmm. And JB has really, the last couple of weeks, looked like one of the best defensive players on this team. And he deserves it for that loyalty that you talked about, you alluded to there, Unc. My next helmet sticker, I'm going to stay on the offensive side of the ball, man. I think Dallin Hayden deserves some love, man.
Yes, he does.
Second straight week where he's really brought a strong level of physicality to this run game. He had a couple runs today where it was like, ooh, Yeah, that boy brought his pads today and running fierce, running hard. He got the shot of the video's going viral right now. But Michael Irvin, after the game, was showing Dallin a lot of love. He's saying, "That's you know how Michael Irvin do. I don't even gotta do my Michael Irvin impression." But Dallin over the last 2 weeks, 5.5 yards per carry, 119 yards over the last 2 weeks, 58 of them today. Yet to get in the end zone, but the way he's running, that'll be probably the next time we see the Colorado football team take the field. Shout out to Dallin.
I don't know if y'all got any more. I'm just going to give, helmet sticker to Cam Michael. Just what that guy's been through in terms of the injuries.
It was good to see.
It was fantastic to see him on the field. He almost had a massive play, too. He stepped out of bounds. They ruled it an 8-yard gain. The speed is so obvious, though.
Yes.
I mean, that guy's just got to get the ball more moving forward. I don't know how they're going to figure it out with this running back wide receiver split thing going on right now, but I can't wait to see more from Cam Michael, man. He's electric, and he's got a very bright future ahead of him. You got anything else, Unc?
Yeah, I'm going to give a helmet sticker to the bye week because to go into this bye week after a win like this against a top 25 team and the healing up that's going to take place during this bye week, this team is only going to be better when it goes to Utah.
Going with a lot of momentum, man. Coming all rested. Some of those guys you'll probably get back from the injury report who might have missed today. It's another big opportunity. Are they playing right now? Are they still? They probably just kicked off Utah against Arizona State. Last one I'll give before we probably move on. Maybe get to super chats. We mentioned him already enough today, but Tawfiq Byard, man. Tawfiq Byard. 2.0. The pick, 7 tackles again. He has turned into the heart and soul of this defense.
Makes sense. He's doing this and he's wearing the number.
In perfect Aaron Suman Craig fashion, he has turned in the heart and soul of this defense. An absolute leader, an absolute dog, and he balled out once again today. That's a future NFL player right there. His big bro already in the league playing for one of the best teams in the NFL, the Chicago Bears. And Tawfiq one day soon, too, is going to be playing in the NFL. So shout out to Feek and the whole Byard family.
Yeah, really shout out the whole coaching staff, too. I mean, this has just been a rough year so far for this team. And to keep these boys locked in and able to bounce back against arguably one of, if not the toughest team you've had to play against so far, that's massive, man. And look, we talked a lot about Baylor last year this week, and Arizona 2 years ago, and how those teams were also 2-4 at one point and how they were able to finish their seasons. And obviously we have a long, long way to go. There's no conclusions to be made yet.
Yeah.
But to get there, you have to take the first step. And that's what the Buffs did today. They got to 3-4. They beat a ranked opponent. And now, you just got to keep on knocking them down one on one.
One at a time, 1 week at a time. Keep stacking. Keep stacking.
Ready for super chats?
Nah, let's check out the touchdown tracker,
Ooh, good call. Let's go to the touchdown tracker from our homies over at Taco Bell. We had 3 of them today.
3 of them things.
We had the Joseph Williams touchdown. We had the Omarion Miller touchdown. And then you had Micah get one into the box from, was it 4 or 5 yards out? That was the Seton one, right?
Yep, 8 yards out. His 3rd touchdown of the season.
So there you go. Total up to $23,000. Almost to that fire sauce ranking. We just one more big offensive output, maybe, and we can get there in the next game.
Yep.
We'll find out, though. Do we? What was your favorite touchdown today? Do I even have to ask you?
My favorite touchdown was the first one.
Okay.
The rushing touchdown. Seeing Big C out in space, watching Iowa State Cyclones just run away from Jordan Seaton because they didn't want to deal with that. They didn't want them problems, big fella. That was my favorite one. How about you, Unc?
Absolutely, that was my favorite one because I think it's the one that can truly define what this team is capable of. We've always known no matter how the quarterback played, how the receivers look, we can pass the ball to the end zone. What our problem has been inside the red zone is can we run the ball into the end zone without it being on the 1 yard in the QB sneak. And I thought the way that play was designed, 8 yards out, going in untouched with the big man leading you in, that's the kind of football that we got to play the rest of the way if we're going to do what Baylor did a year ago and run off the schedule and still make it to a bowl game. It's going to be with those kind of plays.
My pick, too, for those reasons, exactly. I mean, that's just what we've wanted to see so long from this team, and they finally did it, and they put it all together in this game, and that touchdown is actually pretty emblematic, I think, of what happened today on the field. So,
Well said.
All right. Super chats.
Shout out to Von Randall in the chat. We appreciate you.
Facts. Fire Company says, Ayo, RK got to stay in London. What is CU record when RK missed games? Might need to work on Euro football content. I mean, at least over the last 2 years, we're 2-0 when RK misses a game.
In the Coach Prime era,
Yeah.
Colorado's 2-0 when RK ain't in the stadium.
Trends have been made out of lesser stats. Juwan is asking, is Darius okay after he got ran over today? Darius got ran over. Unc, what can you tell us about this? Is he okay?
Well, one thing I can tell you about it, as a guy who was standing right next to Darius got to work on his speed. If I can get my big ass out the way, how can you not? But I will say this, Darius is okay. And he admitted when he got up, he's like, I could have dodged it, but I got to protect this camera. So I held onto the camera, just took the hit. So big shout out to Darius for ball security and not fumbling the camera.
Job security. So Darius has it figured out right now.
For real.
Do you have any thoughts on the students rushing the field, Unc? I mean, obviously, Coach Prime talked about it after the game. He loved it. It was funny. I think he learned about the fine when he was in the room, and he called it for what it was, which is
He said that ain't right.
It's bull jive
That ain't right.
at best. So what do you think about it, Unc?
I think it's one of the favorite things of college football. I do raise an eyebrow at times when it's overutilized. I think you need to be playing somebody ranked, and you need to be the underdog, and it needs to be a must-win. All the stuff that happened tonight. I hate when people rush the field and, like you're playing little bro or something. Like, oh, come on, like you're supposed to win this one. But also, you're just one student athlete or coach or fan for getting trampled and seriously injured, and says, like, is that really worth it? What I think they need to come up with is some kind of happy medium. It's like, hey, let us get the players or the head coach off the field, now run. Instead of just because when you're out there in the middle of it, it ain't as fun as it looked from the stands.
Well said, Unc. As Chris says, I don't know. My opinion is kind of worth it for those things because, again, as you said, that's just what makes college football.
It checked all the boxes today for a field rush. I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely.
Just as Unc said.
What do we got next? Don Pusey says, where does JB rank on the team in Big 12 in tackles? On the team, is this updated, CFB ref? It says 2 and 4 still, so probably not. So how many did he have today?
He had 10 today.
He had 27 coming in, so that's going to put him at 37. I'm going to assume these Big 12 stats aren't updated. That would put him in the top 25, but again, all the other teams are playing, and these haven't been updated. I can tell you that Tawfiq Byard's already been in the top 25, though. 49 tackles.
Yep.
He's actually 4th in the conference.
He leads all Big 12 safeties and solo tackles as well.
Love it.
Dog.
Don Peasy again.
Peasy.
Got to give Salter his flowers for at least 1 week. He silenced doubters. That's me. I was a doubter in K-Salt, and I ain't got nothing negative to say. Shout out to our guy, Don Peasy, man.
Peasy.
Appreciate you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Soldier. Oh, wait. Unc Mike is low. Why didn't
For
you
real?
guys say something in the chat?
Yeah, why didn't y'all say nothing in the chat, y'all?
Don't start. Like it's been 5,000 comments in the chat.
Really?
Like
Weird.
Y'all wild in the chat. Y'all could have said something, bro. Y'all could have said something. Y'all wild. That's okay, though.
Yeah, actually, some inside baseball. I don't read the chat when I do a podcast usually, so this is all news to me. Next, please. LT says Bama is using their offensive tackle Procter as a wildcat and throwing him screens. We need that for Big C. Seeing him move in space like that, get him a touchdown.
I ain't opposed.
It'd be a lot of fun to see that dude hand him the ball. I don't even care. Can he catch? I'm assuming he can catch. He's a 5-star.
Definitely.
He's got to be an athlete. No? Unc's shaking his head no. What do you think, Unc?
And say, hey, let me teach one of those thoroughbreds how to catch a frisbee. You let a damn thoroughbred do what it does, man. Like, Don't mess up the meal ticket on some gadget shit with Seton. No. That's the top. That's a top 5 pick right there, man.
Chat's right here. I promise. We know.
Y'all gotta know we trolling. Can you scroll up in the chat though real quickly to a comment? Just a little bit further from Kelvin Whitaker right there. He goes, Colorado Center need to get some love. He's been holding it down. Absolutely right. Zarian McGill has absolutely been holding it down since week 1. He has been one of the most consistent players, not only on the offensive line, but on the Colorado football team this year. He has been great. He has honestly been a godsend at one of the most important positions on this team. He is a big reason why Kaidon Salter has mostly been upright and had a lot of time. So shout out to Zarian McGill. He certainly deserves his flowers as well.
One of the biggest positions needed of improving over the last 2 years. Unc, what can you tell us about how Zarian's played and just what you see from the guy, hearing from him every day?
Man, you said it perfect when you said hearing from him every day, because you don't hear from him every day because the dude just shows up with a lunchbox and goes to work. Like, he's not one of the more dominating personalities on the team. You don't turn a corner and hear his voice before you see him like you do Coach Sapp. But when it comes to being in that seat in the meeting room early, doing the damn film study, and doing the work, he's checking all those boxes.
You know where Zarian McGill from?
I don't.
You do. Say it.
No, let the chat say it.
That went from the ship.
Bam!
From the ship. Let's go.
All right, I think we got a couple. We got a couple more super chats. Verdon says, we missed you, Unc, at JSU homecoming. Shout out to the JSU Tigers. They move on to 5-1 on the season with a 38-34 win over Alabama State in the homecoming game. Come on, Unc.
Yeah, that was huge, man. The Tigers were dominant last year, won the SWAC championship and the Celebration Bowl. But on the path to pulling all that off, you faced a number of teams in the East who were literally on their third-string quarterbacks due to injuries. So what today was essentially for the SWAC championship, because you were going up against the other top quarterback in the conference in body. And you saw, when you look at Jack State's past games and look at this one, that's the reason it was so close. It's a quarterback league, just like it is in the other league. Shout out to Jack State for getting that homecoming victory, 4-point win, putting up 38 points over who's going to emerge as the rival in the conference. Because since Willie Simmons departed, FAMU has really kind of fallen off, from that throne. But Jackson State got it done, and now, you don't want to look ahead, take things for granted, but the SWAC East is yours when you beat that team today out of Alabama.
Hell yeah, man. Congrats to you and all the JSU faithful, man. That's big time. Final thoughts, unless you got anything else you want to touch on.
I think we are Gucci.
I'll start, man. I mean, this bye week is thank God it's here.
Yeah, for real.
But man, they needed this win more. Just in terms of morale and belief, and just I don't even know what's going on in the locker room and the facility, in terms of day to day and all that. But I imagine it couldn't have been easy the last few weeks, especially. So, shout out to Coach Prime, obviously what he's been through again, but shout out to this team, man. You can see the belief. I think that, clearly they see what we were talking about, that this is a complete team. They just got to put it together. But credit to them for fighting for that too. Yeah. Like, I think it's very easy in this day and age in the transfer portal in college football when your seasons can turn south really, really quickly. And it's easy for teams, I think, to give up. Look at what Oklahoma State's going through right now. Clearly they have a coach fired and all that. That is a program in complete free fall, though. Not saying Colorado could have gotten there with this current leadership and all that, but just an example of how south things can go and how quickly. So this bye week's going to be well-deserved. And, I think there's a chance we see an even better football team, a more together football team the next time they take the field in Utah in a couple weeks.
I completely agree. They might have learned a really valuable lesson tonight about how to finish games, about how to finish strong, how to come out of the halftime break with a sense of urgency and kind of treat it like its own game. And I think kind of Coach Prime switching up the practice kind of setup format this week to put focus and emphasis on law. Y'all, this is the third quarter. This is the fourth quarter. Clearly, you can't really argue with the results, the immediate results, because that was a Colorado football team today that met the moment, right? Again, when that game was slipping away, at the end of the first half, and it was starting to feel like deja vu from the last 2 weeks. That coaching staff, those players on that team said, no, we're not doing that again. We learn from our mistakes. We know we got to do different this time. And they went and did it, man. And that's how you ignite a fan base again, right? That's how you get a locker room back locked in and gelling the way it might have been before the season started, before the 4 losses came into the equation. So shout out to this coaching staff. Shout out to Coach Prime. 3-4 days after undergoing the procedure to be out here looking like himself, getting them boys ready to go, is an all-around great win and performance.
Your final thoughts, Unc?
Not on the leadership and Coach Prime and what he endured to be back to coach this week, et cetera, but I want to go back to that moment during the game that Coach Prime forecasted all week long, and even forecasted in his pre-game speech to the team. Adversity is going to come. Face it, meet it, head on, and deal with it. And I'm sure the fans, I'm sure Louis Riddick, as he called the game, I'm sure people watching on TV, when that moment came and we squandered the lead going into the half, oh shit, here we go again. But let me tell you where it didn't happen at. It didn't happen on the sideline with the team or the coaches. Like, they met that. They were still high-fiving each other, still encouraging each other, still saying, hey, 3 and out, we got the ball back at halftime, we're going to score on the first drive. All the things that you hear coaches talk to from the Coaching 101 book, that players were saying amongst themselves. And then the other times we were up 14 or 14-0, you didn't get that from the players. This team is turning the corner and is becoming a player-led team versus a coach-led team. I talked to Tawfiq about that, post-game. And so this bye week, from that long injury list perspective, couldn't have come at a better time. And now they just got to find a way to practice a couple of days this week, take that bye weekend off, but keep that momentum going to Utah. Because here's what you had to do, guys. You had to win, and you did. Guess what you got to do in Utah? You got to win. But now you know you can do it. Just go do it.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. Someone in the chat asked if we're doing shows during the bye week. Who do you think we are, man? Of course we're doing shows during the bye week. We're going to have a show on Monday, kind of recapping everything again. More details to come out, but clearly no Saturday show and all that. So it'll be Monday through Friday for the most part. Chat, we appreciate you hanging out with us through all of our nonsense today. Thank you. Seriously. Unc, thanks for coming in, man. Or for calling in. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you very soon, and we'll have you on the show again very soon as well. You know what it is. It's the DNVR pregame show, man. We'll see y'all next time. Skull Buffs.
Love squad.
We all silly like the mayor.